Repetition. What the heck is it?
Hey guys, Mr. Sackler here. So I want to talk to you about repetition. And this element is something very subtle, but so important in design. So repetition is about subtly using elements to make sure the design is viewed as part of a larger whole. Now what that means is that if you look at this little man over here, now I'm not saying you need to put a little man in your presentation, but I am saying that I chose to use him for a reason. And it's to get a message across without you guys actually necessarily knowing, but I'm specifically going to tell you why it's there. So I put this man on this slide to tell you that this slide is the final slide. Now, I'm not telling you that you should put something like this in your presentation, but if you come up with a reason for using an image, you should try and use that over and over to get that point across. So if you look at this slide over here, you notice there's no Mr. Man, which means this is not the final slide. This is me using this slide to teach you about making the slide, but then that slide gets iterated to become better, and then you'll see that this is the final slide. Over here, final slide on contrast, not final slide, no Mr. Man. Not final slide, no Mr. Man. Not final slide, no Mr. Man. We have over here, final slide, Mr. Man. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm using him so you know that this is like the final version of a slide. And this element of repeating something to get a message across doesn't just start with a picture. You can use it with different colors. You can use it across a whole presentation. For example, in my do nows, if you look all the way back to the first day of class, welcome back everyone. So we see over here yellow, and you see green, and you see blue. So the green part over here for your objective is always green. And if you go through these lessons, you're going to notice that I've linked the idea of a green objective for Unit 1 so that every time that you are in Unit 1 and you see this part and it's green, you know you're in Unit 1. So I'm linking the color scheme not only to the objective, but to the lesson and more importantly the whole unit. Because across this lesson and in lesson 1.1, it's still green, it's still blue, it's still linked. But what happens when we get to the next unit, Unit 2? Well, your whole color scheme is going to end up changing where these lessons are different colors. So you're going to know that this is a different unit as soon as you see it because the color scheme has changed. The color is using repetition to link it to a unit. And also, in this unit, you'll see that all your objectives are, again, the same color. Unit 3, another new color scheme. All of the different objectives are yellow. It's linking it to Unit 3. So the color is being used with repetition to link it to an idea. And this idea is used not only what I do, but also in things like Apple. If we go over to Apple, we're going to notice that the font, the choice is the same across every single part of their website. It's the same font. They change the proximity of the font, but it's still the same font for the most part. They also do things such as making some things blue. And blue is repeated across it that you can click on it. Anything that's able to be clicked is in blue, and you never were explained this by Apple, but anything that you can click on, they're putting in blue on purpose. They purposed that color to do that with repetition across all of their slides. So repetition is a subtle element, but it's very effective when used to make something be viewed as part of a larger whole. So if you guys can come up with some sort of picture or some sort of design and link it across, you should. But that doesn't mean you have to. At the very least, you should use the same colors to show that this whole presentation is on c.r.a.p. Crap. Have a good one, guys.
And that's it. Go back to the lesson. Do it now.